guys, it's Chantal with Wildberry Quilting, and today we are going to try out some of these washi tape seam guides. All right, so I've had a request to show you how to put this washi tape seam guide on your sewing machine. So we're going to start by putting our needle into the down position and then lifting our presser foot. This will be one of the easiest ways you can put it on. All right, so we're going to pull out a little bit of our tape, and if you ended up with a little bit of a ugly piece here where you're trying to pick up the tape off of the roll, just snip off that little end. And what we want to do is we want to line up our tape with where our needle is, being careful not to cover up our feed dogs. We could place it right here over the top of our bobbin door, and then we can just line it up here and make sure that we're not going at an angle or anything, using our ruler to make sure that we're staying straight. You can line your ruler up with some of the lines that you have on your faceplate just to make sure your ruler is also straight. It looks like I need to come over just a little bit like this. Now, this would be your first option, and you would go through and press this down really nice, and then possibly even push it down into here. In fact, I'm going to show you how to do that. We're just going to snip this with our little scissors and then flatten it down. And then we're just going to, we can use a nail or little scissors, either way, and just get that started to where it goes across. And now you can open up your bobbin door very easily and replace your bobbin. The other option would be to start lower down below where your bobbin is and not cover this up. But if you do that, you're not going to have this area covered with your guide. You might miss having that. Now, I will say this does the same job as this Lori Holt Seam So Easy guide. They are both effective, and you don't need to have both of them. It's really a one or the other kind of tool. Me personally, I prefer to use the Seam So Easy guide. I started out with the washi tape, but I feel like when I do this, one, there's a lot of waste because you keep going through the tape, whereas this you only buy once. But even more so than that, I feel like this line is so wide that there's a tendency to want to deviate to one side of the line or the other, and you really need to keep it straight. I also find it much easier to put the Seam So Easy guide onto the sewing machine and get it accurately on there instead of the washi tape. And let me show you by putting one right over the other so you can see just how much of a difference it makes. Now, I'm probably going to I'm going to pick you up and move you a little bit so you can see this. Now, I just put this right over the top, and you saw me apply this using the ruler and the measurements on my sewing machine. And it does appear to be aligned with my needle. But look how far it is different from where the Seam So Easy guideline is. You've got the Seam So Easy guide line goes right here, and this one you would be following right here. And this might not seem like a very large difference, but when you are sewing together a quilt and you're trying to do a 1/4 of an inch or scant 1/4 of an inch, this is enough to really mess you up. And this was the issue. This was the biggest reason why I switched over to using this flower instead of the washi tape is because I just felt like the washi tape was not accurate enough and it took me too long to try to set up, as opposed to how quickly I can put the Seam So Easy guide on. Now, there are definitely drawbacks to the Seam So Easy guide though. For example, you can't just open up your bobbin door to change your bobbin. It does require you to lift up the entire bottom portion of it and then pull it out, which is a little bit of a hassle, but it's easy enough to deal with, and these sticky dots still last a really long time even when you're lifting it up and changing your bobbin out over and over again. I am going to put a link in the description box to both the Seam So Easy guide and to these washi tapes. If I can find these specific washi tapes online, I will put it to these ones. If not, then I will link it over to just the regular seam allowance washi tape. But that will all be in the description below. And I will also link the other video that I posted about how to put the Seam So Easy guide on. Now let's get to how to use this. All right, now the way that you're going to use this is you're going to sew corner to corner on your fabric. And you're going to line that up with your line here. And as long as you keep your needle and your corner of your fabric going to your line, it'll give you a nice even seam allowance. And as you can see, it lines up well and we don't have any issues. This works really well with half square triangles or with snowballing blocks like this. All right, I hope this was helpful. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.